This is Pop Culture on Blast. Hi, I'm Josh.
I'm Justin.
And I'm Tim.
So, Tim, what about this Disney-Fox merger that I knew nothing about?
Fox went on sale because Rupert Murdoch decided to sell it. There was a bidding war that happened between Disney and I believe Comcast.
I think so.
And Disney ended up winning the bidding war for about $70 billion because the main reason is their new streaming service that they wish to start. Because that's where the money is. Netflix has proven that streaming services make a good amount of money. And so...
Okay, wait, I have to admit, I wasn't quite completely paying attention to what you were saying. No,
okay.
Did you? No. Okay, I know. So you basically said they want to... Okay, so they're buying it to turn it into a streaming service?
Disney has been looking into creating its own streaming service. Okay. And with the inclusion of a lot of the Marvel properties that they didn't have access to before because they were pre-existing deals when they bought Marvel.
Right.
As well as all the Fox properties that will increase what they're able to do, because the Fox and Disney stuff alone, what Disney will own on Netflix is like 20 to 30% of what Netflix has, what they offer. That was one of the major reasons why they decided to try and win this, because it opens a market up in Europe as well for them to be able to stream. And that's honestly, a lot of the fans are wanting it because of the X-Men and stuff like that, but that's the huge reason why they were willing to spend such a large amount of money, is because...
How much money are we talking about here?
Like I said, $70 billion, around there, with stock options and everything.
It's chump change to those people, I guess.
Well, they threw it down because they get access to that, and then they'll own a majority stake of Hulu now.
Wasn't Lucasfilm bought for $4 billion?
$5.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, but you have to understand, I mean, Lucasfilm, yes, it does have certain other properties, but obviously the real nest egg there is Star Wars, which of course they have now, and they've already made their money back.
Yes,
on
and
that.
then some.
But like Tim was saying, Disney is looking to establish their own streaming service, which you would think, well, they've got plenty of content, and they do. They could certainly start one and do that, but the Fox deal, there's a lot associated with that will not only grow their burgeoning streaming service, but will also, spread its wings out into the movie world. But streaming wise, you have to understand, they're going to take every Star Wars show, every Star Wars movie, now every Fox movie, it's all going to be accessible through this.
Not every Star Wars movie.
With there's deals, I know, we'll go into that, but all of Star Wars will be there eventually. All of the Fox content eventually will be there, and then there's all of Disney content. I mean, this is a huge deal to have a streaming service. Tim and I were talking about this earlier. The streaming service landscape is becoming cable. It used to be where you get cable, you buy HBO package and whatever, and you pay a certain amount per month. That's all. It's still there, but it's dying. Now it's individual streaming services. Now, when I say it will eventually become available, that's because Fox, until the deal is truly officially done, technically speaking, Fox owns distribution rights to A New Hope.
Yes.
Which they will eventually get, and be a part of this package. But with things like Netflix or Hulu, until certain deals are completed, their contracts are done, Netflix has the streaming rights to Rogue One, for example, or Hulu has the streaming rights to this. They kind of have, that's when I say eventually they'll have all of it, because those contracts either have to be bought out or run to term, and then it's all there. And we're talking about a gold mine, of stuff, especially when you, the owner, say, this is it. This is where you get it. You don't get it anywhere else but here. And people will pay for their Disney content.
Well, the Hulu stuff is not that big a deal because they'll own 60% of it, because Fox owned 30 and Disney owned 30. And because of that, they are going to be majority shareholders of Hulu itself. Mm-hmm. So they can put whatever they want on there.
Given that they're going to be majority shareholders of Hulu, why would they start their own streaming service? They basically have one in the form of Hulu.
Actually, no. They are very smart with this. the kids stuff, the kid-friendly, the PG-13 stuff like that is going to be on what they're calling the Disney Plus streaming service. Anything rated R is going to be on Hulu. So that way the mom and dad can know that nothing bad will be on the Disney Plus service.
All right, well, that makes sense.
So everything, all the old Disney shows, Disney Channel movies, everything will be on Disney Plus. And then the Predator... anything.
Predator is Disney?
Predator is Fox.
Fox. Okay, I was like, what?
Predator, Avatar, everything that Fox owns, anything Aliens, anything rated R.
So it's the streaming equivalent of like Buena Vista and Touchstone.
Yes.
Okay. Josh, you get that?
I think I'm getting there now.
How to differentiate their family DVDs releases, home video market from the more adult stuff.
Well,
they had a
is
separate.
it more along the lines also of with Miramax and Lionsgate? Didn't Miramax own Lionsgate at one point, and then they would? I think so.
Yeah, I believe they did.
I think they would. I remember Kevin Smith when he did Dogma. Miramax didn't want to release it because of their association with Disney.
Lionsgate did.
But Lionsgate did, and that's kind of under the Miramax umbrella, or
Yeah,
at least it was at the time.
I did not know that.
Okay, I think I'm following you now. I'm still waiting to see this passion, though, Tim.
Well,
you're not bursting out of your chair yet.
Okay,
I don't understand. Okay, wait, hold on. I don't want to be. Okay, I'm interrupting you already.
No, it's fine.
I want to understand simply: is this a good thing or a bad thing?
It's good and bad. Everything has both. You know, there's, I believe, a 10 to 20% reduction in force when the merger is actually 100% official. And so that's naturally thousands of people's jobs, honestly. That's the streamlining it. But the good is, in order, because like Justin said, they're not going to have...
I just looked at your shirt.
Seriously? That's right. Darth Yoda. Look it up. Like Justin was saying, they won't have everything, but what they will have is new content. Which is why they're going with The Mandalorian, which is the Star Wars television show.
Yeah,
they're going with Loki and Scarlet Witch getting their own show with Vision.
And these are all streaming shows. You have to pay for
These
the
are all
content.
streaming
The Mandalorian
shows.
is going to be streaming.
Yes,
it's 100% streaming.
Do they know what it will be on yet?
It is 7 years after episode 6.
What streaming service?
The
Disney Plus.
streaming.
They're making it.
Oh, Disney Plus is a
Yes.
streaming service. Okay.
Yeah, it's a full streaming service. That's the whole purpose of it.
And that's just Star Wars.
That's just Star Wars. That's one of Star Wars. There are more series
Marvel
coming.
stuff.
One of the problems Lucas always said he had about trying to make a Star Wars television show is it costs too much money. Because they said an episode's going to cost about a little over $1 million per episode, and there's a guaranteed 10.
That's it? You mean right now?
As of right now, they guaranteed 10 for one series.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know. 10 what?
Episodes.
10 episodes. But that's chump change, because weren't the...
Yes, that's chump change for Disney.
No, I mean, what I mean is like with Friends towards the end of that series, weren't they all getting close to $1 million per episode?
And they were getting over that, actually. But in order to get to that point, they had to start at 0. They're starting at 10 here.
All right, fair
and
enough.
a lot of distribution television shows didn't want to touch it because it's just too much for a station to pay for.
Right,
Couldn't
right.
this also be a bad thing? Let me explain that. Do you remember when I think it was Time Warner and AOL merged?
Yes.
That didn't work out very well. That was two very gigantic companies coming together, but they did things completely differently, and they couldn't make it work. So could this, in essence, be the same thing? Too many cooks in the kitchen, more or less.
I think it reduces it to one cook in the kitchen.
Actually, yeah.
Well, they have different practices, is what I'm getting at.
They, as in Fox and Disney?
Yes.
No, Disney's made it clear they're playing.
I know
by
they're both
their
very
rules.
greedy. I get that.
Well, yes.
And one of the, we haven't touched it yet, talking about cooks in the kitchen, when this deal was announced, Tim, stop me where I'm wrong, there was movies already in production at Fox, one of them being New Mutants, which is an offshoot of the X-Men universe. And for a while, us fans were like, is it dead? You know, what are they going to do with it? And Fox, because of the contractual stuff with it, they can finish it. But I think they're so far along in the process now, Disney is getting involved as far as when it's going to come out, what the ultimate product will be. So point being is that because all that's we're talking X-Men universe, that's big. Deadpool, that's going to be Disney's shortly, and they're going to decide the course of. I have a perfect example of this. The Netflix Marvel shows.
Yes.
Look what they did there. Tim, I'll let you.
Disney didn't actually do that. That was Netflix. Netflix has
It's a
been
theory.
Well, Netflix has been canceling all of the Disney Marvel shows. All the Daredevil, there's only 2 left, I believe, Punisher.
Shows that are
And then
well rated.
Well, yes, but their deal is going to be done because they're not going to renew the contract. So why in the heck would they keep making them?
But the theory, I don't know if theory is even the right word, the thought is that perhaps after the deal is done and the streaming service is established, maybe, just maybe, Disney's going to bring some of those shows, canceled shows, back on their streaming service.
Then they'd have to wait 2 years because that's what's in the contract. Is they can't do anything with these characters 2 years after the cancellation.
Point being, one cook, not multiple cooks in the kitchen. You know, they're taking control of this content and they're saying, it's ours, we're going to do it our way. We have no idea what they're going to do with the X-Men universe. They're not just going to let it sit. They're going to do something with it.
From what they have said so far, any movie that's already been made or being made will be released. How, they haven't said, because they've already pushed back Dark Phoenix and New Mutants. Mm-hmm. Dark Phoenix, they've already said they're most likely guaranteed theatrical release. And New Mutants has actually been discussed to possibly save it for Hulu once they fully take it over.
So that's a big deal.
Because they actually have done that with a couple of movies already. There was a Christmas movie with Anna Kendrick that they decided to shelf and wait for the Disney streaming service this December.
Wow.
That was supposed to come out where she played Santa Claus's daughter. And she was supposed to take over.
That rings a bell. I think I did read something about that.
But they decided to shelf it and hold it on for Christmas on their own streaming site.
It just occurred to me. So, off the top of your head, what are the biggest film production companies right now? Disney, obviously. Who? Fox. Paramount.
DreamWorks, maybe.
Does that? Yeah.
They're heavy in animation.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Pixar stuff.
Well, wouldn't Pixar still be Disney?
Are they back
Disney?
under Disney?
No, Disney fully
owns Pixar.
Fully purchased them. Like they worked with them, and then Disney flat out bought them.
Okay. Warner Brothers.
Right.
Sony,
maybe.
Yeah.
Well, now they're starting to.
All they've got is Spider-Man.
I didn't say they were good.
Venom. Okay. What I'm getting at is, you posed the question, Josh, is this a good thing or a bad thing? Maybe there is the chance that, I mean, I know we're just talking about one other studio, but if you think about it, that's Pixar broke off, became its own thing. Disney said, no, you're ours now. Fox, I would say they're not outrageously successful, but relatively successful with X-Men, Deadpool, Avatar. Okay. I didn't realize they were Fox.
Yes. What about TriStar Pictures? Think that Pegasus would make a comeback?
No.
Caravan?
I'm talking big studios, big ones.
The heavy hitters.
The heavy hitters.
He doesn't know enough. He's just like,
nice,
I'm just going with the jokes. It's good.
I know Caravan is the guy walking, right? The briefcase guy or something?
Yeah.
I can hear the music. But
I'm thinking of the one with the lighthouse, and it's not ringing a bell.
Isn't
gosh,
like Lighthouse or something?
I know what you're
and I did.
I can see it.
And then it becomes visible, and then, yeah.
Oh, man. You got that. Thanks. You totally ruined my train of thought. I mean, looking at Fox and Pixar, you could argue they are now, at least I'm sure I'm forgetting other ones, they're like 3 studios in one, just the film division stuff I'm talking about. Maybe this is not the greatest thing, because outside of Marvel and DC, Fox was our only other real big source of superhero movies, for example, and now it's going to be Disney.
No, now it's going to be Sony.
Sony
has proven what they can do with Venom.
But that's just one property.
Yes,
though.
But they've taken their first steps. They got the Michael Morbius movie coming out.
How do you mean prove? Do you mean prove in a good way?
They've proven that they can actually make a good superhero movie on their own without having...
Did they? Did anybody actually care about Venom?
Apparently.
Yeah,
I
made
didn't
more
see
money
it.
than Spider-Man.
Which
Then
Spider-Man
all
are you
of them.
talking about?
Spider-Man.
All of them.
Spider-Man? Which Spider-Man?
All the Spider-Mans. All the Spider-Man movies made more money than all of them. Not combined, just individually.
Even the one from the 1970s.
Of course. Come on.
But seriously though, that is a little bit of a concern to me. The fact that it's not quite a monopoly,
Well,
but they're everything.
Yes, but the one thing that I think Disney has proven is that when they purchase something, they want to make their money back.
I'm not saying they won't give us good product. I think they will, but it's kind of like McDonald's, right? It's everywhere. It's a very definite corporate attitude, mentality push, and that they're actually so kind of like Walmart. They're so big they push little guys out.
Is it
And
McDonald's or Walmart? You're kind
I'm
of
going to go with
crossing
Walmart.
them. Okay.
Well, they're everywhere and they have
Okay.
everything. And does it leave a lot of room?
For
Fox,
creativity?
yeah. I mean, that Fox
Not
is
really.
not a small studio. They were an option for certain types of films. Disney never would have made Deadpool. Fox took a chance, and they're
Yes,
like,
they
let's
did.
try it. But they'll never do that.
And actually, because of that, they've already discussed Disney's trying their first one.
Oh,
Their
I'm
first
not saying
rated
they're
R.
not going to take their
No.
cue for it.
No, I'm saying that they've proven that the rated R movie can be successful for a superhero franchise.
Yeah.
It's been proven with other ones, but this is like the big modern bubble.
What other ones?
Spawn. Spawn actually was pretty big.
What?
I enjoy Spawn very much, yes.
You mean from like 1990
1990 something, yeah.
with
the movie.
John Leguizamo? I like
Yes.
John Leguizamo, no problem there. But
Yes.
the movie was terrible.
Yeah, the movie was awful.
Still made a decent amount of money.
The Joker
Who was
killed
the
him in the Dark Knight.
Who was the stately actor in that one? In Spawn, the older one.
It was an older actor.
I know, the guy from
wait,
the Crusades.
It was a Sheen. It was Sheen, right?
No.
Martin Sheen. Yeah, it was Martin
Martin
Sheen.
Wait a minute, he
It's
played
President Kennedy,
once.
you idiots. No, it wasn't
The
Kennedy. It was
Goonies.
Martin Sheen. It was Martin Sheen. That's who it was.
It was Martin Sheen.
It was.
Okay, no, but they've proven that the rated R movie works. So Disney's taking their first steps to that with.
Well, you didn't convince me they proved it with Spawn. I'm sorry.
Well, no,
that was
okay.
okay. That you didn't.
Blade.
Still not winning me over with that one.
No,
I don't
I
have
think
to
that
win
was
you
a very
over.
niche
The
group.
the money it made did it enough. They've proved that it
Okay,
rated R
maybe it
movie
made
could
money.
work. It doesn't make what it makes now
It
because
definitely was better than Spawn.
the superhero franchises make so much money now. What they made then is pennies compared to that.
I
But
get what you're saying, and of course you're right. I mean, they see this as an opportunity, and they'll pursue it.
they're taking their first step with the Black Widow movie.
But what about the other movies that haven't been made yet? The studios that will take a chance on something that I can't even think of because it hasn't been done yet. Disney is a great company. I'm not trying to talk badly about them, but I don't think it's their nature to be risky in that sense. And Fox is willing. Sony is willing. The other ones, like you were mentioning, Caravan, maybe but whatever.
Carolco Pictures.
Carolco. They were willing to take a chance because it was like go big or go home. So that's what I'm saying. Do you guys think that maybe there's, I don't want to say a risk, but maybe there's a sadness to be had in the fact that, we're living in Disney's world right now, and where are all those chances? I mean, am I alone in that thought? Tweet.
I thought you were gonna. For a moment, I thought you were gonna say, "Where have all the cowboys gone?"
Seriously.
Okay, at least I wasn't the only one. I see the danger in it. It's Disney's world. We're just living in it, more or less. I don't like it. Of course, I don't like it. I don't like Walmart.
Right.
I don't like Coca-Cola. They own everything too. At one point, they owned Columbia Pictures. They helped Bill Cosby make Leonard Part 6. See how well that turned out.
Well, okay, sorry. Okay, here's an example of what I'm talking about. Okay, with Disney being this, not just as big as they are, but with absorbing as much content as they have. Look what happened with the release of, I don't know if they did it with The Last Jedi. I think they did, or if it was also Force Awakens or both. You would know, Josh, better. But I know that they had the contractual obligations by the movie theaters to, you will play our movie in your biggest house for this long or else. And in other words, they're telling the distributors, the theaters, how to run their business. Like, you will play 80% of your content will be Disney. We don't care what you do with the other 20, but they are so controlled. They're not just controlling the movies that are being made. They're controlling what you see because of their power and influence. And they have their own content that they want to push. You and I have talked about when a certain new movie comes out, they're going to show the trailer, like take Endgame or Captain Marvel, for example, when that comes out.
Yeah.
You're guaranteed to have the trailer for Endgame attached to that, along with 2 or 3 at least other Disney-connected properties, most likely. And it's like you can't even get advertising for another movie with a crowd of people that you want to attract because Disney says, no, sorry, our movies, our crowds, these are our commercials. That kind of scares me as a viewer because I want to see something. I want to see Disney movies, I do, but I want to see something else. And I think something like this is really going to bottleneck anyone else getting a chance, because they won't even let you see it. They're physically going to stop you in the theater. Yes? No? Do you agree?
I think you make an interesting point.
Thanks, Josh.
I think it may come to pass. Well, to me, it's nothing new. This is, they're corporate raiders.
But I mean,
I can imagine this has happened numerous times before.
Not on this level film-wise, though, right?
I'm sure maybe we
to
just
the
haven't
level
known
that
about
they
it.
are.
Is it really to that level?
They're huge.
To me,
you
it just
are
seems
privy
like,
to that more than we are.
I just see a conglomerate taking over another conglomerate, and this has happened before. Maybe not in the film industry to this extent, but to me, it seems business as usual.
Yeah.
Well, sure, it happens. It's just they're taking so much, and not just that. Like I said, they're demanding your attention and forcing it upon you. That's what kind of concerns
If I spent $70 billion, I'd demand your attention too.
I know, and I get it from a business point of view, but I don't know. I just, as a fan of film, I have cause for concern. Even though I want to see the content that Disney's producing, I do. But it concerns me that that's maybe all we're going to get after a while. It's just going to be everything is theirs. You may not even know it. Because a lot of people are not as aware as we are, for example, of how Disney, for example, owns other things. Like Disney made that? Oh, I didn't know that. Because it's not under the Disney banner.
Yeah.
People wouldn't even know,
Well, did you know that Clorox owns Burt's Bees? I didn't know that.
I did not know that.
Up to a few months ago. You see? There's a lot out there we don't know
Exactly. We don't follow the umbrella of where people are.
Well,
Especially when it comes to lip
I'm
balm.
not an avid fan of Clorox, so it doesn't concern me, but I am
Well,
an
they make
avid
a lot
fan
more
of
than just
film.
bleach.
Seriously.
Well, I'm sure they do.
Yeah. You'll never look at Burt's Bees the same way again.
Is it made in the same plant? Tim, do you foresee, just as a viewer of film, a lover of film, issues that could come of such ownership?
I do, but the thing is, it will shift, and then what we perceive as normal will change, and this will be the new normal. Is that Disney owns Fox, and that will be it.
Oh, I have a question
10
for
years
you.
down the road, it won't even be a bump in the highway anymore.
Will Fox not exist, or will they just
Fox?
run
They
it?
have
Or-
to separate Fox News and Fox Sports
knew
because
that.
they own ESPN. Disney does, and they can't have both of them. So, and then there's something in England and the UK they have to sell legally to be able to not have a monopoly over there as well.
Mm-hmm. How much of the film? Who's next? Let's say they decide to buy Sony at some point. At what point will they be legally stopped from owning too much of the film community?
Viacom owns a good portion.
They're Paramount, right?
They
Viacom.
own Paramount. As long as there's two, it's legal.
But if they own, isn't the deal like it's got to be at least 50-50?
Yeah,
But I mean,
one side can't have a monopoly at all.
Are you imagining they're like those little things from the Langoliers that just eat up everything? Is that what this is going to be?
No.
I'm pretty sure he's waiting for the Disney military to be formed and to take over the rest of the country.
Ambassador Mickey will come and go, haha, we're going to shut you down. Haha.
And they're still not the biggest corporation Apple is.
Right.
Well, they did that with Microsoft, right? Microsoft had to break up. They were too
No,
big.
they were discussing the Microsoft breakup, but Apple came back.
Well, I just wonder how big will Disney get? But I mean, look at there was the miniseries on like the History Channel. They were talking about the old guys from back in the day, the oil guys, the gas guys. How eventually they got so big they owned everything. The government ordered them to break up. I wonder if Disney will get to that point.
But the owner ended up making more money that way because he still owned everything. All right.
Granted. All right. Well, I guess that covers the gist of it.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah. I actually find this much more fascinating than when we first started. As we started going, I know I talked over
You were a
guys
chatterbox.
Seriously.
It started occurring
Couldn't get
to me
word
that
in edgewise.
issues
Even
that were
now,
gonna
you're talking
occur
over
from
me.
this. Thank you, Josh.
I love
fine.
to tell people where to find the show, but you won't stop talking.
Seriously.
I'm not talking now, so you can do it.
Tim, would you like to tell people where to find the show? Okay. If you like us, don't forget to give us a rating on iTunes and a comment, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You can also find us on popcultureonblast.buzzsprout.com or email us directly at pconblast@gmail.com. Until next time, I'm Josh.
I'm Justin.
And I'm Tim.
Later.